morning. How are you?
The chamber.
I am Russell Peterson with Grassroots Yang Gang. It's nice to meet you.
Grassroots Yang Gang.
Grassroots Yang Gang. We are all about supporting some Andrew Yang.
I get it. Nice to meet you.
Oh, we got a watcher. We got somebody out there. Who's out there? Y'all, it's awful early in the morning, Yang Gang. Y'all wanted it live, so we're gonna bring it to you live. Good morning, Craig. Morning, High Castle. Y'all, we are set up. We are here early. No coffee. Can y'all hear me out there okay? Do we got volume out there, y'all? Do we got volume? Okay, good. I got the Andrew Yang music jumping in here already. Got the speaker going. Can y'all hear the Yang music?
It's not money for nothing. You're an owner and shareholder of the richest country in the history of the world. Just like when I buy Verizon or Microsoft, they send me a dividend. Like, I don't complain about that. Like, you're now a shareholder in this great nation, and you get a dividend.
Where's my dividend?
Where's my dividend?
It's the first of the month. Where's my dividend? Where's my dividend? My freedom dividend. It's the first of the month, man. Where's my dividend? Gang. Who gon' be the next president? Gang. Who gon' be the next president? Andrew Yang.
Hey, y'all think I should hit that Return of the Mac whenever he comes in?
Who wants to give you $1,000 gang?
Well, you know I got it on my Yang music playlist, y'all.
We gon' touch your biz. If you're working on AI, we gon' touch your biz. We gon' touch your biz. We gon' touch your
All right, microphone on.
working on AI, we gon' touch your biz.
Listen to the problems. One thing I'm saying to people is, like, look at the immigrants that are taking these jobs away. Like, just facts. It is not immigrants. It is the fact that technology is pushing our economy in a direction that makes it harder and harder for many Americans to get by
I'm
based
dropping
upon this
everything.
crap. I trade my time.
Save 10%. Save 10%. Before you go and blow your check, save 10%. Save 10%. Save 10%. Before you go and blow your check.
You know I always do. That's how Grassroots Yang Gang rolls. We always deliver.
Next president, gang. Who gon' be the next president? Andrew Yang. Who's tryna give you $1,000 check? Who wants to give you $1,000? Yang.
Got 17 people watching. Y'all tweet it out. You know, Glenn, that music is coming from my Andrew Yang music playlist.
I'm going to change as president. I'm going to get that money and bring it back to the people of this country.
We bringing the beats to everybody in here, y'all. We got news people here already. Nothing I love more than listening to Andrew Yang in the morning.
Can we afford it? Yes. Will it cause inflation? No. Is it awesome? Yes. Is anyone trying to make it happen? Yes. I'm one of the most
I don't know if Andrew sleeps, but we sure don't. I sworn it to myself.
We need to get the American public a slice of all of that economic innovation. We need to start trying to address the imbalances in our systems. We are going to have to do it for ourselves. Secure the bag, secure the bag, secure the bag, secure the bag, secure the bag.
I do not know which news stations. There's about four of them here.
Put the money in our hands. The money in our hands. The money in our hands. Put the money in our hands.
Y'all see where I set my speaker? $29. Come on, y'all. Must be too early for y'all out there.
That is my plan to see humanity. And you all determine its future. It's not an exaggeration at all to say that the future of the country rests in our hands. In fact, you all beating us every day, fighting the fight.
Come on, Yang Gang. Y'all get that out there. Y'all tweet it out, Facebook it. Whatever y'all got to do. Drag some people. Get them kicking and screaming in here, y'all. Let's see if we can get this. Oh, Lord. Y'all look like Death Warmer over this morning. I can't wait till Yang visits Florida too. I know. Oh my gosh. Look, I ain't got no makeup on. I'm standing up here in a suit and tie. And okay, I'm not. I don't like suits. Well, wake them up. Let's get this party started. Got some Andrew Yang to cover this morning. Ooh, 4:30. It is not 4:30 here. It's like 7:30 almost. Oh, let's see. I think. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you. Let's turn this around. I think I see Mama Yang Gang. Whoop. Mama Yang, look. Look, you know if there's gonna be food, Mama Yang Gang is gonna be there. She loves to eat. Oh, where's my boy MC Jen at? Where you at, MC Jen? Well, you know what? We gonna try to make it not boring. Let's make it not boring, y'all. Let's talk. What y'all want to talk? Y'all want to talk about Andrew Yang? Let's talk about Andrew Yang. Breakfast is calling, but I'm probably not gonna be able to eat. You know what's crazy, y'all? We'll pay $25 a plate to come to this fundraiser, and then I won't even get to eat. Come on, MC Jen. Get up, man. Get some coffee. We're gonna look. We're trying to yang everybody here. No, it's not bad. It's not bad. It all goes to Andrew Yang's campaign, so.
Would you like any food or coffee?
Say hi to the Yang Gang.
Hey, Yang Gang. I'm short, so. Who is up this early in the morning? Crazy. Do you want food or coffee?
Coffee. Be
Coffee.
good. All right. You are so welcome. Go eat. No, we ain't got time to eat. I gotta talk to y'all. Get these Yang beats out. 57 people. Let's go, y'all. Mama Yang Gang's worried about food right now. Yeah, they do, Blinks. For sure. Hey. Oh, let's see if I can get this. Ooh. Yes, that is big. That is huge. Treating veterans with psilocybin.
Oh, okay.
Y'all, they're doing studies, and the studies are coming out on psilocybin, and it is helping a lot of people with microdosing.
My name is Fred. Fred. Bill.
Victor, have a good day at work.
Nice to meet you, Fred.
We will see you whenever you get back. Hopefully you'll check this out.
Have you ever seen
We
it?
might be live streaming some more
No,
later.
I'm excited. No, already.
You're gonna make lunch while we're waiting for breakfast to start. Thanks. Yes, you should have, Sean. Germany, wow. Hey, my people's from Germany, y'all. Good to see you. Thank you for checking in from Germany. Worldwide Yang Gang. Yes, you can. So if y'all can support it, please support it. Like, share, subscribe, donate if you can. We appreciate it. It takes a lot for us to get out of these events. So, what y'all want to hear? Like this song. Eternal Zoom, Yang Nation. Oh, don't get in trouble at work, man. Don't get in trouble at work. Look. Y'all ain't even got my eyeshadow on. I do got my green mat hat on. Let's see, I'm trying to look for a good one. Oh, nice. Listen, Yang Gang, y'all get pumped out there. Y'all get this live stream out there. Tweet it out. Facebook it out. Smack your mama. Don't smack your mama. I'm just kidding. We like your mama. The sound coming through okay, y'all?
Yeah, I drove by on the way here. 101 or something.
Gang is money. You are right. Gang is creating jobs. He ain't even president yet. Let's look at the crowd, y'all.
Sorry.
Oh, you good, bro? You good? Yes, he did. Sean, were you really there last night in Peterborough? Sean, if you were there in Peterborough last night and you didn't speak,
I just want to make sure I get this right.
absolutely.
Grassroots Yang Gang.
Okay, Yang Gang. So it looks like we got Fox News, NBC, and ABC here, and Grassroots and CBS.
And CBS. And we will have the Seacoast Media Group as well.
All right. Looks like we got some good media coverage this morning. That's
I
good.
think there might be some good coverage this morning.
All right. Y'all hear that? We got we got all the major news outlets here. For sure. Pave the way for Yang. Sean, I'm mad at you. Did you speak to me last night, Sean? Looks like we're starting to get a little crowd here. Let's get some Yang beats. Wait, yeah, I was the one. What? Oh, come on, Sean. You got to do better than that. You know how many people we got? Sean, next time I expect a hug, brother. I don't expect you to just speak. I expect a hug and you to be like, "Hey, I'm Sean." You are so welcome. Tighten up, Sean. It was crazy there last night, but I'm gonna tell you what, y'all, you do not know how much we enjoy meeting everybody that's out there, everybody that watches us. So, I mean, I like selfies and stuff like that. I want to tweet it out. So if y'all are out there and y'all see us, man, y'all let us know. And specifically to let us know who you are, because we see a lot of people. And Andrew Yang should be coming around any time now. It's getting close to time. He did win a lot of people over last night. You are right. And the Yang Gang showed out too. If y'all watched that live stream last night, y'all showed out. Well, we showed out. Y'all showed out over there because there was upwards of 500 or 600 people watching last night on the live stream. What's up, Worldwide Yang Gang? UK signing in. You know, we might have to hit that Freedom Dividend song next. You know, I got them all on my Yang music playlist. We got everything from Paperboy Prince to Panther Dan. I think we might have to play some Return of the Mac whenever he comes in, y'all. Tortuga's crazy.
Beautiful day out, huh?
Perth, Australia. We got Germany, Australia. We got the UK.
A couple weeks in after, yeah. My daughter lives in Nashville, Tennessee, and they've had 91 days.
This is a breakfast fundraiser for Andrew Yang, and no, I did not eat. Usually when I come to these, I don't get a chance to eat, but it's okay. So y'all donate so I can get a biscuit later. Oh, we got China, we got UK. I should remind everyone as often as I can that I am an ex-Trump voter because that's worth gold. You know what, y'all? I'm an ex-Trump voter. I don't know how much gold that's worth, but it's definitely worth 2 votes because it takes one away from the Republican side and Donald Trump, and it gives one to the Democrat side and Andrew Yang. So every Trumper that y'all can get out there, that is a 2-for-1 special all day long.
It's all back road. It's a beautiful ride. You're literally driving through.
Gang Gang Australia, 83 people. Let's go, y'all. Let's get these numbers up. You know the Twitterverse is jumping even at this early in the morning. Y'all get on the Twitterverse. Thank you so much. Look, he said, go get yourself a biscuit. I sure will. I appreciate it very much.
Hike up the
Thank
mountain,
you.
and then get on the chair, let you come down.
See Mama Yang Gang. We got Rocket over there.
Hike up, and it hurts my knees. The hike up is good.
We're starting to get some people here now. I'm gonna try to adjust this camera a little bit. Ah! Thank you, Glenn. Thank you. You are so welcome. We sure appreciate it.
We got a lot of fairs and stuff going on now.
We don't know what SDK is either, but we'll take it. We'll take EBT if that's what we need to do.
But warm rain though. It's at 77 and rain is a lot.
Let's hit that freedom dividend. Seeing the math hat show up. We're loving it. The American dream. ABT game, for sure. Hey, we'll do it all, y'all. We'll do it all. PayPal, Venmo, any of the donation links that if y'all want to use donation links, you can click on probably any one of our videos. Make sure you open a new tab so you don't click off of this live stream. Thank you so much, y'all. Appreciate it. I will. Here in a little bit. We got work to put in first. Once we put in work, we are going to Mama Yang Gang. As long as they eat, it's all good. It is definitely a global phenomenon. Swedish crowns, right? Not math, High Castle, math. Come on, bro. Thank you guys so much for your donations. Appreciate it. Y'all, that makes it makes coming to these events a lot easier because we look down and we say, okay, we have X amount of money. What kind of events can we cover for the Yang Gang? And then we look around and New Hampshire's an early voting state. So we got to get it 60,000. We have to get 60,000 New Hampshire voters, y'all. That's going to be quite a task.
Will be here soon.
We always do summer or maybe spring to shop.
Is that Yang music coming through, y'all?
Right? So we get a lot of snow.
Yeah. I saw the tree had to breathe 3-4 months. Then
Because I got my bullhorn out there. If I need to go get my bullhorn, I can go get my bullhorn. You're right, Tortuga. We are living history. Yes, thumbs this thing up. I noticed we had a couple trolls on last night. Had 6 thumbs down. I'm like, seriously? Haters. Haters gonna hate. We love them too. We fighting for their bag too, y'all. We'll secure the bag for everybody. Broke folk vote is real. Hey, did y'all see that Andrew Yang liked one of my tweets last night? That's pretty cool. Nice. You definitely might have to get up in New Jersey. 104. Come on, y'all. Tweet it out. Facebook it. Reddit it. Instagram it. Thank you, Blinks. We appreciate it. You know we will keep grinding. Hey, did y'all like my interview with the robot last night? We're gonna put on y'all recognize this song?
There is, but I don't know the criteria.
I don't know how to do that, Dan Higgins. I sure don't. Well, we're starting to fill up. We got all 4 major news outlets and the Grassroots Yang Gang. which is the most major news outlet as far as we are concerned. Let's see if we can get this right. I'm going through adjustment here. Giant $1,000 bills. Oh, nice Tortuga. Yeah, that pirate was on point, Glenn, for sure. Look, you know we are going to bring y'all even the crazy interviews. We got robots, we got pirates. We don't care. We'll interview everybody. All right, Andrew should be showing up any minute, y'all. Any minute. Definitely have to timestamp. For sure, independent media. Hey, look. Fake news. Fake news. Maybe they'll be respectful and not be fake news. But we won't hold out much hope. Corporate media. You know how that goes. You know, that's a big reason that Donald Trump got elected. And people don't realize that. But when he called out fake news, people realize that there's a lot of fake news out there, that it's a lot of corporate bullshit. Uh-oh, we got action at the front. Religious liberty? I mean, he's kind of a mindset to let people do what they want to do. Yes, you are so right. His positions were whack, are whack. Yo, we are up early this morning bringing y'all this Andrew Yang content. We love it. We love y'all, Yang Gang. It's just not a good place for all my equipment, y'all. I've got it tucked into my waistband. I've got it hanging out my britches. Gangarangs. So I was going to try to find a time when I thought Andrew Yang might be getting ready to speak. Yes, Andrew Yang will be making a speech. That is why we are here, and we are bringing it to you live. So if y'all can tweet it out, get it out, y'all get the people in here. When is Obama going to endorse Andrew? Well, y'all, he has to wait. Because he has to wait until Biden does himself in, pretty much. And he will. Biden, it's just a matter of time. You already see he's slipping in the polls. So Obama's got to wait a little bit. But I have a feeling that it's not going to be too much longer before he does come out and endorse Andrew Yang. But he has to kind of wait to make sure that Biden's pretty much done himself in. But it'll be soon. You can believe that. At the rate Biden is going, look, I'm gonna tell you something, okay? And this is it kind of makes me mad. I don't care if you are in the Christian community. If you're in the Christian community, then your job is to love everybody, and that means our family and the other communities. And if you can't do that, then you ain't living what you're supposed to be living. So get on point. Because if you say that you represent Christ, Christ represented love. So, I mean, take that how you want to. Y'all, we got to love each other, period. Plain and simple. It don't matter whether you claim Christian. It doesn't matter if you claim Islam. We got to love everybody. Everybody. That's all of us. We are all in this shit together. And one thing I can say about you is I love y'all, period. I don't care what you claim. I don't care what letter of the alphabet you want. I don't care. I don't care. None of that means anything to me. You know what means something to me? You. Y'all mean something to me. I love you for you. I don't care about the rest. Faith, hope, and love. Exactly. Thank you, Ted. Appreciate it. We love atheists. It don't matter. It don't matter. So we are starting to get a crowd here, y'all. The other media people over there watching me. Look, it's pretty trippy to have the news people watching me. I think I might be able to get on the news later. No, he sure doesn't. Well, we're glad that you are trying to turn it around, you good-looking honky. I mean, that was his name, so I'm just saying his name. But we're proud of you. Way to get out of that shit. So we are patiently waiting for Andrew Yang to make his arrival. If y'all are just tuning in, this is a breakfast fundraiser, $25 a plate. Yes, Russell. My name is Russell. You know what Russell rhymes with? Hustle, because that's what we do here at Grassroots. This is in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, or close to it. Where we at? Y'all make sure that y'all tweet this out. Facebook it. Tell your mama and your daddy. Get online. That we are live streaming Andrew Yang. So we look like we got a pretty good crowd here so far. $25 a plate. Little Yang Gang's got his shirt. He is so happy. Uh-oh. It is starting to get packed. I can't even hear my music anymore, y'all. Tell your mama, your daddy, and your bald-headed granny. For sure. Boomers for Yang. Thank you so much, Rachel. We appreciate that. Y'all don't know how each and every one of those dollars really helps us. Y'all, oh my gosh. The heat is not working in my car, y'all. It's not working in my car. I turned on the defroster and it's blowing out cold air. Oh my gosh, you want to talk about crucial. Man, it was cold riding over here. But we got to get that fixed, for sure. Because winter is coming. It's almost here in New Hampshire, and we got to get the heat fixed. That is crazy. Secure the bag, y'all. Shout outs to our Patreons. Definitely. Thank you so much, Patreons. I think we actually picked up a new Patreon last night. I think one of our Patreons is in the audience right now. Craig, he's one of our Patreons. If y'all are a Patreon, speak up so I can shout y'all out. We appreciate y'all very much. 129 people and counting, y'all. Secure the bag. Hey, does this microphone pick up out here? So if I stand right here and I talk, can y'all hear it? Or is it too low? Because I need to know kind of the range of the microphone. Because I can always talk like this. It sounds like a dude need a dividend. Yeah, for sure. Okay, good. Y'all get to see me in all my glory early in the morning. Look, I need some of y'all out there. Give me a claw. Can y'all give me a claw? 5 o'clock in the morning. Tony Caper, what's up? 5 a.m. That's awful early, y'all. A mobile recording studio with your freedom dividend, that would be cool. That would definitely be cool. We do have a microphone, y'all. We are moving up in the world. Thanks to the Yang Gang. Y'all are the only reason that we can move up in the world. For sure. This microphone actually was given to me by a friend of ours named Hatal. If y'all don't know who that is, y'all need to check out some of our videos. He is actually filming a documentary on Andrew Yang's life and his run for the presidency. And he has become a very good friend of ours. Spit some bars. Y'all don't want to hear that, I promise you. I cannot rap. Just tuned in. Where is this event? This event is in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, or close to it. And we are here for a breakfast. And it is $25 a plate breakfast. And the crowd is starting to show up. We got some Yang Gangers here. Yang Gang crowd looks good now, y'all. Our boy Rocket's here. Let's turn it around so y'all can see. Thank you so much for that donation too. Thank you so much. All right. Get a shot of the crowd here. Crowd's starting to pack in. Uh-oh. We got some movement. Hold on.
Good morning, everyone. Just a quick note. We're going to be starting in about 5 minutes. So if you need to get back up to the fabulous breakfast, please do. And we'll be starting very shortly. Okay? Thanks, James.
Y'all, I want to hit that Return of the Mac when he comes in. They might copyright me though. Yes, thank you, Video 2. You rock. Anderson, thank you so much. Those donations mean the world to us, y'all. Thank you. Thank you, Rock Out. Rock Out considerably. Yes, Craig Rogers, one of our Patreons watching. Thank you so much, Craig. Yang Buck. Oh, y'all want to hear that? Okay. Hey, we can do that. Y'all want to hear some Chef Zoot? Chef Zoot's my boy. Where you at, Chef Zoot? Not answering my messages and stuff. Yes, for sure. Keep the donations in. We got to fix the heater in the car. The Ghost Mobile, y'all. The heat is not working. And we are blowing cold air all the way here. Y'all want to talk about cold? New Hampshire is cold when you're blowing cold air on you. Hey, y'all, we make it around in the Yang Gang community now. You know we do. This camera right. Yes, it is, Blinks. You got to make sure that heat's fixed. You can't have Mama and Little Yang Gang riding around in the cold. For sure. Y'all want me to sing the Chef Zoot song? just kidding. Y'all don't want to hear me say it, I promise. 5 minutes, y'all. 5 minutes till game time. That's what the lady said. How true that is, you know, Andrew likes to be a little bit late sometimes. But it's getting close. All the media people already put their microphones up there. We're going to have our microphone right here. Who's that? Oh my word! Look at Chef Zoo. This event is a fundraiser for Andrew Yang. $25 a plate breakfast. Thank you for showing up in Texas, KT. Yang Gang worldwide too. Yang Gang is from everywhere. I'm trying to find Return of the Mac, y'all. Turn up the Mac. Hold on, y'all. Bear with me. I'm looking crazy right now. There we found it. Should I go ahead and hit it? She said 5 minutes. You can donate either through the thing on here, or you can click on one of our other videos, and you can find all the links that you need for our donations right in the description. You might have to hit that drop down box. But we have PayPal, we have Venmo, we have EBT. The broke folk vote. Yeah, so just click any of our videos, or yeah, you can hit that $sign in the chat. Who is my favorite music artist? My favorite Andrew Yang music artist, or favorite music artist, period? Because I got my particular favorites in the Andrew Yang community, for sure. It's one of my favorite Andrew Yang songs right here. Cure? I mean, yeah, I do. Not on my Yang music playlist. No doubt. Oh! Here we go. Andrew's here.
Chamber lady asked if we could turn it off.
Yeah. Chamber lady needs to get the sticker in her butt. Look, they made me turn it off, y'all. Campaign lady asked if we could turn the music off. Seriously, it's Andrew Yang's song. No, you cannot count. You cannot donate from Australia.
Hi, Andrew. Hi, Fred. Hi, Andrew.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Am I holding up Matters Valley? You gave that here from
This weather is nothing.
Oh my gosh.
Look at little Yang Yang. He's so happy he gets to show Andrew Yang his shirt. He was very upset last night when he met Andrew Yang and didn't have his mask shirt on. He was very disappointed. And Zach was very, very gracious and pulled out an Andrew Yang pin and gave it to him. And that was so sweet, so sweet. Y'all, I want to make some noise up in here, but it's a little bit early, and these people, I don't know that they want us. You know me. No kidding. This dude never sleeps. No, I want to. So y'all, if y'all want to support it, we got 2 more Andrew Yang events today. I don't know if y'all want to. Do y'all want us to live stream it? We can live stream it. There's 2 more events. There's one at 4:30, and there is one at 6:30. If y'all can, like, share, subscribe, tweet it out, donate if you can. For sure, every dollar helps us get to these events, y'all. It helps us bring them to you live. We got a nice, good crowd here. Looks like all the tables are full. Andrew's got him a drink this morning. He's sitting there with Steve Marchand. I guess everybody there at that table is pretty big.
Started here. Well, that's quick. That's because everybody's excited. Everybody wants to get going here. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. My name is Valerie Roshan, and I am the president and chief collaborator of the Chamber Collaborative of Greater Portsmouth. And I want to thank you for joining us. I also want to thank the Sheraton for hosting us. That was a great breakfast. We also have some sponsors. Our candidate forum sponsor for this series of candidates is Seacoast Media Group. We do have a representative from Seacoast Media Group here, Paul. And our public policy forum series sponsors Eversource Energy. And it's their support that allows us to have these interesting and informative forums. So we thank them. I do want to recognize that we have one of our board members here, Russ Grazier from PMAC. And we also have an important member of our business community, Peter Eggleston. You might have seen him around the Portsmouth Brewery. We have Beth Moreau, who's the vice chair of the planning commission here in the city. And this morning, as you know, we're going to be visiting with Mr. Andrew Yang. Mr. Yang was born in upstate New York. His parents immigrated from Taiwan and met in grad school. He studied economics and political science at Brown, went to law at Columbia, and then worked in tech and healthcare startups where he learned the skills of entrepreneurship. While in his 30s, he ran a national education company that grew to become #1 in the country. Once that company was acquired, he committed to creating jobs in cities hit hard by the financial crisis and founded Venture for America, an organization that helps entrepreneurs create jobs in cities like Baltimore, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. He's married with 2 sons and lives in New York City. He's going to talk to us about his ideas and hear yours as he seeks to serve as President of the United States. Before we get started, I want to make sure you might have noticed that there's a couple of cameras in the room. So we have Fox News, NBC, ABC, CBS, Grassroots, Yang Gang, the Seacoast Media Group, and 3 folks from Scotland, one of whom is getting married tomorrow.
All right.
So be aware. Please welcome Mr. Yang.
Let's go, Andrew.
I feel like this event itself is stimulative of the economy. Very, very exciting. I went to high school here in New Hampshire. I don't know if, how many of you knew that? So I thought you mentioned, I hope you mentioned that. I graduated from Phillips Exeter in 1992. They had me back to speak just a few months ago, and when I got there, I was honest. I said, I have not been back since '92 because I didn't have a good time here. And then the student body erupted in applause. I was like, whoa, that's not the reaction I was going for. So things don't change that much. So after I graduated from Hampshire, I went to Brown. I went to law school in New York City, and I was an unhappy corporate attorney for 5 whole months. And since we're here in a business roundtable, how many of you all went to law school? There are probably a couple people here. Yes. I thought so. So I spent 5 months and thought that I'd rather start a business. And how many of you all have founded a business or run a business? So I love this group. I love entrepreneurs so much. If you have your hand up, you know a couple things. Number one, it's very, very hard to start a business or organization. And number two, when anyone asks you how it's going, what do you say?
Great.
It's going great. No one answers that question. No one actually wants to hear anything about your issues. So my business was going great until it failed. So this is one reason I appreciate entrepreneurs so much. I know how hard it is. I started a business that had a mini rise and maximum fall in my 20s. My parents told people I was still a lawyer because that was an easier story. But I'd been bitten by the bug at that point. I said, wow, entrepreneurship, so difficult, but so genuine, so human, so invigorating. And so I stuck with it for another 10 years. I worked in a series of small growth companies, eventually becoming the CEO of an education company that grew to become #1 in the United States. And that company was acquired in 2009, which was the aftermath of the financial crisis. Now, this is a very affluent area. How was the financial crisis here in this part of New Hampshire?
Hard.
Yeah, it was tough, I'm sure. Even though you were better insulated than some other parts of the country, it was devastating to many, many parts of the country. I'm sure many parts of the state here in New Hampshire. And I thought I had some insight as to why the financial crisis had unfolded. It's because so many of the wannabe whiz kids I'd gone to Hampshire and Brown and Columbia with had gone to Wall Street and created these financial instruments that ended up crashing the economy. And so that really struck me as a fundamental problem, that if you have your talent and energies going towards the financialization of the economy, that's a recipe for disaster over the long term. But you can't be negative, you can't be, don't do that. You have to find a genuine solution. And so the solution I came up with was a nonprofit called Venture for America. I quit my job, I donated 6 figures to seed the organization, and I started calling rich friends and asking them this question: do you love America? Then the savvy among them asked, what does it mean if I say yes? And then I said, at least $10,000. And so 12 of them said, I love America for $10,000. So we had a couple $100,000 to start, and then recruited talented young people around the country. I want to unpack Venture for America to you all because I think you'll enjoy it. So if you're, how many of you all are parents like me? Right. So some of you probably have parents who are college age, or sorry, children who are college age and graduated. And if you're a directionless young person and you decide to go to law school, your parents will say that's a good idea. It's very easy to find law school, and the government will give you an oh so helpful $100,000 loan, no questions asked. If you want to start a business, your parents will think that's not a good idea, very hard to find, and no one will give you $100,000. So there's no mystery why we have this oversupply of indebted, unhappy law school graduates, and an undersupply of people actually starting businesses around the country. If you look into the statistics, we're actually at multi-decade lows in terms of business formation, and that is particularly pronounced among young people. Now, one reason for that is student indebtedness, but there are a host of reasons, in my opinion, why young people are not starting businesses. And to me, that's a disaster over the long haul, not just for our economy, but for our culture and our society. So that's what Venture for America was designed to change. What we do is we go to young people who want to learn how to be entrepreneurs like yourselves. And having started a business and failed in my 20s, I know it's unrealistic to go to the average or even the exceptional 22-year-old and say, hey, we're going to have you start a business. I mean, that's not a realistic mission for most 22-year-olds if you want some measure of success. But what was a possibility for a 22-year-old is to go and work with someone like you for 2 years as your apprentice, lieutenant, upside hire. Work with you for 2 years. How many of you all learned about your business by working with someone else in the business? Me too. I worked alongside more experienced entrepreneurs for a decade, and that's how I got seasoned and became capable of leading an organization. One of the things that someone said to me was that you can't be what you can't see. So if you put a young person alongside the business operators here in this room, they'll want to become you. And that is what we need. We need more young people to follow in your footsteps, not head to Wall Street or, at this point, Silicon Valley, unfortunately. I mean, you put it in a similar bucket. So that's the mission of Venture for America. What we do is we take ambitious, enterprising young people and we match them with early stage growth companies in Detroit, Baltimore, New Orleans, Birmingham, Cleveland, St. Louis, and other markets around the country. That's what I did for 7 years. Started a nonprofit that helped create several thousand jobs around the country. I was recognized as an ambassador of entrepreneurship by the Obama administration for helping create these jobs. I got to bring my wife to meet the president, so my in-laws were excited about me for about a week. And as you can tell from my background, I grew up in upstate New York, came of age here in New Hampshire, went to school in New England. How many of you all are from the Midwest? The South? West Coast? New England, or the Mid-Atlantic, like me, yeah. So most of us have a similar background. I was blown away when I got out to the Midwest and the South in terms of the disparities between regional economies. Where if you fly between St. Louis and San Francisco, or Michigan and Manhattan, you feel like you're crossing decades and dimensions and ways of life, and not just a few time zones. And I was doing this work for 7 years. I was trying to explain to people, it's like, well, you don't know what it's like in a place like Detroit that had a peak population of 1.7 million and now has a population of 680,000. So think about what that means for even the physical environment of a city like Detroit. So I was getting accolades and awards. A movie was made about my organization. And I had this sinking feeling that my work was like pouring water into a bathtub that had a giant hole ripped in the bottom. That for every job my organization was helping to create, that we were going to lose dozens or hundreds of jobs. And spending time in the industrial Midwest, I saw the aftermath of the automation of manufacturing jobs, where we lost millions of those jobs. But I was still surprised when Donald Trump became our president in 2016. How did you all react to that?
Shock.
Shock. Or disbelief. We were like, wow, this is the way we're heading as a country. I took it as a giant red flag or a stop sign. I said, no matter what you're doing, you have to recognize that tens of millions of our fellow Americans were so desperate that they decided to take a bet on the narcissistic reality TV star as our president. And if you turn on cable news, why do you think he's our president today?
Russia.
Some combination of Russia, racism, Facebook, the FBI, Hillary Clinton, emails, all like mixed together in a cocktail, and there's President Trump. But I'm a numbers guy. I suspect that some of you here in this room are also operators and you like information. And so there's one very clear data set that indicates why Donald Trump is our president. We automated away 4 million manufacturing jobs in Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Iowa, all the swing states that Donald Trump needed to win. And if you doubt this, there's actually a straight line up between the adoption of industrial robots in the voting area and the movement towards Donald Trump. It's one of the strongest correlations you can find. We're in the midst of the greatest economic transformation in the history of our country, what experts are calling the fourth industrial revolution. We got rid of 4 million manufacturing jobs because of robots and automation, and if you go to a factory, and some of you have factories, you see it's not wall-to-wall immigrants, it's wall-to-wall robot arms and machines. But our country's confused. Our country's scapegoating immigrants for things that they had nothing to do with. So this is what I was realizing in 2017. But despite my realizations, my first move was not to run for president, because I'm actually a very sane person. So the first move I made was to head to Washington, D.C. and lay out the facts and figures and say, hey, what are we going to do? How are we going to respond to the fourth industrial revolution and let our fellow Americans know that this is the true set of problems that brought Donald Trump into office? But Donald Trump is a symptom. He's not the cause of all of our problems. He's a manifestation. And what do you think the folks in Washington, D.C. said to me when I asked, what are we going to do?
Yawn. Yawn.
Yawn.
Don't talk about it.
Number one was we cannot talk about that. Number two, we should study that. Number three, we must educate and retrain all Americans for the jobs of the future. That was the most common. Sounds responsible. Sounds very reasonable. But then I said, look, I looked at the studies as to how effective the government-funded retraining programs were for the manufacturing workers who lost their jobs. Do you all want to guess how effective those programs were on a percentage basis?
0 to 15.
0 to 15%, that's right. They're a total failure by any objective measurement. And when I said that to the folks in DC, you know what they said? I guess we'll get better at it. And one person actually told me the truth. He said, Andrew, no one here is going to do anything about this set of problems. You're in the wrong town. Because this is not a town of leaders, this is a town of followers. And the only way we're going to do anything about it is if you create a wave in other parts of the country and bring that wave crashing down on our heads. And that is why I'm here with you today, New Hampshire. You'd think I made that speech up. It sounds like a movie supervillain. But it turns out it was a DC lobbyist. It turns out they might have some parallels there. So,
for sure.
So I got the mission and I said, okay, I get it. I have to wake us up to the fact that we're in the midst of the greatest economic transformation in the history of our country. It started with agriculture, and then I moved to manufacturing. And here in New Hampshire, you lost the manufacturing base a little while ago, earlier than the Midwest. And now it's migrating to retail. How many of you noticed stores closing where you live here in New Hampshire? And why are those stores closing?
Amazon.
Amazon's sucking up $20 billion in business every single year. And how much did Amazon pay in taxes last year? Zero. That is your math, New Hampshire. 20 billion out, 0 back. And the most common job in most of the country is a retail clerk. The average retail clerk is a 39-year-old woman making between $9 and $11 an hour. So when her store closes here in New Hampshire, what's her next move going to be? That's right. When you call the customer service line of a big company and you get the software, what is your next move? You dial 000 human to get someone on the line. I do the same thing. We all do. Software is super irritating. In 2 or 3 years, the software is going to sound like this. Hey, Andrew, how's it going? What can I do for you? It's going to be delightful, efficient, a little seductive, apparently. You might not even know it's software if you're not paying attention. What's that going to mean for the 2.5 million Americans who answer a phone for a living, who make $14 an hour? And New Hampshire has a significant number of call center workers. How many of you have noticed self-serve kiosks in a fast food restaurant when you brought your kids?
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's is rolling them out in every location in the United States by 2021. And food service and preparation is the 3rd most common job in the country. The rubber will really hit the road when we get to freight. Driving a truck. How many of you all know truck drivers here in New Hampshire? It's a very common job here. It's the most common job in 29 states in the country. 3.5 million truck drivers, 94% men, average age 49, average education, high school or 1 year of college, make about $50,000 a year. It's a very punishing job, but it's also a relatively stable job and path to the middle class for people who have a blue-collar background. My friends in California are working on trucks that can drive themselves. They're actually already on the highways. UPS invested and they're rolling out in Arizona right now. Now, why do my friends care about self-driving trucks? For the money. The cost savings around automating freight are estimated to be $168 billion per year. And your operators and business people, I want you to reflect on that number, $168 billion per year. That's one of the biggest pots of gold in American business. That's enough to invest hundreds of millions of dollars and hire hundreds of, again, my friends, the smartest engineers in the country, to try and solve this problem. And they tell me they're 98% of the way there. Now, 2% is a very big gap when you're talking about semi-trucks, because you can't have trucks smashing into things at a 2% error rate. And the self-driving trucks are terrible with something called snow, because they rely upon road markings, and so when the weather is bad, they don't know what to do. That's one reason why they're testing them in Arizona. So how they can get the last 2%? The way they can get the last 2%, the plan right now is to have the trucks equipped with 5G equipment so that a teleoperator in Nevada or Arizona can beam into the truck, drive it like a video game because you can see out the front through cameras, and then beam back out when the computer's not sure what to do. That is the plan. What do you think the ratio will be between teleoperators in Nevada and Arizona and the 3.5 million truckers on the roads right now?
100 to 1.
5%, 10%, something along those lines. What does that mean for the 3.5 million truckers or the 7 million Americans who work in truck stops, hotels, diners, and retail establishments that wait for the truckers every day to get out of their truck and have a meal? Only 13% of these truckers are unionized. You know what that means. 87% are like you all, where they're small business owners, they're operators. They took out hundreds of thousands of dollars in loans to buy their trucks very often. How are they going to react when they see the robot truck that never stops? Someone last night in Peterborough compared it to the taxi medallions, where those were good as gold, super stable investments. You had them, and then the rideshare companies came, and then all of a sudden the value of your medallion dropped. The same thing's going to happen for these trucks. They spent hundreds of thousands of dollars leasing them, and they're going to drop in value because the robot trucks never stop. If you're a human driver, you have to get out of the truck after 14 hours. Your truck will actually seize up and start beeping at you. Obviously, you don't want a human driver driving more than 14 hours a day. They have to get out and go to sleep and things like that. So this is the fourth industrial revolution in action. We see it unfolding around us every day, but our news media is out to lunch. No offense in the back. You can play this whole speech. And then
Out to lunch.
When's the last time you heard a politician say the words fourth industrial revolution? Just now. And I'm barely a politician in New Hampshire. So this is the mission of the campaign, is to wake people up to the fact that this is much, much bigger. That we have to evolve very, very quickly. And I'll say something to the small business owners and operators here in this room. One thing that does frustrate me is it seems like we just want to ask more and more. It's like somehow all the problems are on you. Like, you know what we need you to do? Pay people more, treat people better, like comply to these regulations, like you're somehow what's wrong. And I feel like you're what's right. Small business owners are the lifeblood of any economy. They create accessible jobs at every point in the socioeconomic scale. And to me, the real problem is that you have these mega firms consolidating that it's impossible to compete with. And that to me is a real problem. That's why you have rates of business formation going down. A couple generations ago, what small business would someone have started here in this part of New Hampshire? Probably a retailer, maybe a flower shop, a hardware store, or something along those lines. And we know those businesses can't compete now because you have online sellers that are going to sell at a loss very, very often. You have Amazon, this $1 trillion tech company. They don't even need to make money. I was talking to a Walmart executive who's like, how do you compete with a company that does not need to make money? Very, very difficult. And so this is the truth of the 21st century economy. We're all looking at each other saying, where's the money going? The money's getting sucked up into the cloud. You have Amazon, Google, Facebook, Uber, these companies, billion or $1 trillion companies, and how much they pay in taxes?
Zero.
Next to nothing. They can do things that you as small business owners could never dream of. And I know this because I've been a small business owner. I certainly never paid zero in taxes. You know, it's like, I remember that tax bill. That tax bill was really high. And you know, and I was cool with it, just like you're all cool with it, because it's like, hey, this is stuff. Whose fault is it that Amazon is paying zero in taxes? Is it their fault?
It's our fault.
No, it's our fault. It's our government's fault. It's our system's fault. One of the missions of this campaign is to help us modernize our economy. And it's going to be up to you, the leaders and voters of New Hampshire, to help present a vision of a more modern economy to the rest of the country. Because you have other people who are just villainizing practically other citizens, saying it's like, oh, you know whose fault it is that things aren't going well? Their fault. Meanwhile, Amazon's laughing at us. You know, Google's laughing. They're all laughing. They're all just moving their earnings through Ireland, like rubbing their hands together. And you know how powerful they are because you're avoiding this conversation entirely. So we have to bring this conversation into the spotlight. There was a study that just came out recently that said that our data is now worth more than oil. How many of you saw that? Y'all remember getting your data check in the mail?
Nope.
Someone got your data check in the mail. That's billions of dollars in value getting funneled again to the same handful of companies. Now the solution seems very dramatic. If you've heard anything about me in the campaign, you've heard something like this. There's an Asian man running for president who wants to give everyone $1,000 a month. Remember that?
Yeah.
And it seems far out. I know, it seems like a gimmick, but then you dig into our country's history and you find it's deeply American. It's in our DNA. Thomas Paine was for it at our founding, called it the citizen's dividend. Martin Luther King fought for it in the 60s, called it the guaranteed minimum income for all Americans, and it is what he was fighting for when he was assassinated in 1968. 1,000 economists, including Milton Friedman, endorsed this in the 60s, and it was so mainstream, it passed the US House of Representatives twice in 1971 under Richard Nixon. Family assistance plan, this close. And then 11 years later, one state adopted the dividend, where now everyone in that state gets between $1,000 and $2,000 a year, no questions asked. And what state is that?
Alaska.
And how do they pay for it?
Oil.
And what is the oil of the 21st century?
Technology.
Technology, big data, AI, software, self-driving cars and trucks. And the American public will see next to nothing of this set of innovations right now. The value is going to leave your communities. We have to make it so that we all benefit. And then I want you all to imagine the economy here in New Hampshire after our president, thank you, New Hampshire. After our president in 2021 and the dividends start going out, where are the people here in New Hampshire going to spend the money? Right here in New Hampshire. I know 30% of the chamber's hospitality businesses. Do you think the bars and restaurants are going to be busier? People have $1,000 a month. Instead of asking for you, the small business owners of this community, to move heaven and earth, we have to make the conditions easier for you to operate and thrive. We have to make it so that you can grow, expand, hire, and then more people can start businesses like you. Instead of feeling like you're in this holding pattern or you're resisting the time. Instead of saying like you need to pay more, we need to give your customers more money. We need to build a trickle-up economy from our people, our families, and our communities up. And this would actually work, because most of the money would stay right here in New Hampshire. It would create over 10,000 new jobs right here in New Hampshire, would help give rural areas a path forward, and would help reunify our society. Because right now, 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Almost half can't afford an unexpected $400 bill, which one, makes them lousy customers. But two, it brings something called a mindset of scarcity. And studies have shown that if you're living hand to mouth and worried about next month's bills, it has the functional impact of reducing your IQ by 13 points, or 1 standard deviation. So if you have the sneaking feeling that some of our fellow citizens are getting less reasonable, less rational, less optimistic, less forward-thinking, and more subject to bad ideas, we are. Because that is what you would expect in a society that was having financial insecurity become the new normal. So this is the answer. It seems dramatic, but when you start looking at the big picture of the 21st century economy, this becomes an inevitable and necessary step forward. Now, you all are business owners and operators, but how many of you were excited about GDP when you woke up this morning? How many of you were like, I'm going to make a big contribution today? It's a big contribution day to GDP. I mean, it's ridiculous. And GDP, I love talking to you all because you're operators. Imagine if you were running a company that had the wrong measurements. How's that company going to do over time? Really bad. What are the measurements we're using for the economy right now? GDP, stock market prices, and headline unemployment. Those are the big three you see every day in the media. So GDP has been going up. It's at a record high. Also at record highs right now in the United States. Stress, anxiety, financial insecurity, suicides, drug overdoses. It has gotten so bad that our life expectancy as a country has declined for 3 straight years. First time that's happened in 100 years. Last time it happened was the Spanish flu of 1918. Global pandemic that killed millions. So I'm going to ask you all as operators, if you have a measurement that says we're at record highs, but then your life expectancy is declining, wouldn't you want to modernize the measurements? Or would you just keep following GDP off a cliff? Even the inventor of GDP 100 years ago said this is a terrible measurement for national well-being. We should never use it as that. And here we are 100 years later saying GDP, GDP. It's ridiculous. Like, none of your businesses would ever do this. So if we think GDP is the wrong measurement, what could we use instead?
Life expectancy.
Life expectancy, that would be a pretty good one. Health and life expectancy.
Happiness.
Happiness, how about mental health and freedom from substance abuse? Right now you have 8 Americans dying of drugs every hour. That's unconscionable. So you have that as a baseline measurement. How about clean air and clean water? How about childhood success rates? These are the measurements of our actual health and progress. And as your president, I will update GDP to include all of these numbers called the American Scorecard, and then present it to you all at the State of the Union every year. I'm going to be the first president to use a PowerPoint deck at the State of the Union. There's a feeling you all would like, because you probably use PowerPoint decks at your annual meetings. You may not love them, but they do work. And you know, when the line's going up in the right direction, you're like, hey, get it. The line going in the wrong direction. Bad. It's the same for the country, really. And then you can imagine our society focusing on the real problems instead of completing these phantom stats that have no relationship with how we're doing. So just a very quick hit on the other two, stock market prices. The top 20% of Americans own 92% of stock market wealth. Bottom 80% own 8%, bottom 50% own essentially zero. So if you're using that as your key measurement, you're just cheerleading the fortunes of the top 20% of Americans and missing a lot of the problems. Headline unemployment does not include labor participation rate, underemployment, temp gig or contract jobs that don't have benefits, they all count as jobs. The labor force participation rate right now in the United States is down to 63%, multi-decade low, same levels as El Salvador and Costa Rica. Does not show up in the headline unemployment rate. And for those of you who have college graduate kids, the underemployment rate for recent college graduates is 40 to 44%. Also does not show up in the headline unemployment rate. There's a lot of weakness that we're missing because we have these almost intentionally opaque stats. It's almost like it's deliberate, where they're just like, hey, let's just sell everyone a vision that things are going well as we're falling apart. If you have any doubt we're falling apart, President Donald Trump. So we have to do the hard work of actually reconstituting our society, get the measurements right, and then humanize the economy so that it actually works for us. And the most prominent is the most personal example to me is I talk about my wife who's at home with her two boys, one of whom has autism. Her work counts at zero in GDP every day. And we know that's perverse. I was off the trail for a couple days taking care of our kids. And you know what I said after a couple days? Get me back to something easier like running for president. And as a parent, you know, I mean, it's the best work there is, but it's also some of the most challenging and difficult. And we value it at zero. There are actually many, many things that we undervalue or value at zero in America today. And they're the most important things in life. It's parenting, caring, nurturing, caregiving, but also volunteering, arts, creativity, journalism, increasingly, I'm sorry journalists, but it's true. Women and underrepresented minorities, the market systematically will undervalue or will refuse to value many of these things. And that is one of the reasons why we have this unease with us, is that the most important things in our life are getting eroded, and we're all following the almighty market. I love the market, I'm a capitalist, but we have to humanize the market. We have to start making it work for us. We have to use the energies of capitalism to our collective benefit. The capitalism-socialism dichotomy is so unproductive and out of date and anachronistic. And I'm going to quote one of my friends, Eric Weinstein, who said this. He said, "We never knew that capitalism was going to get eaten by its son, technology. That there were no economic models that had you do nearly unlimited work at zero marginal cost, which is where we are right now." I spoke to a group of 70 CEOs in New York City, and I asked them, how many of you are looking at getting rid of your back office clerical workers and replacing them with AI and software? Guess how many hands went up out of 70? All 70. And if you're an operator, you know why that is. You know that you could actually fire a CEO who did not do that deal. Because if they see a way that they can increase profitability and they have shareholders, they have to. That's why every hand went up. Our system is working as it's designed to, and we have to redesign it. I believe I am the best candidate for that job. Donald Trump said in 2016, we're going to make America great again. And what did Hillary Clinton say in response?
It's already great.
It's already great. And that did not work. We need to acknowledge the depth and severity of the problem. They're actually bigger than most people think. But Donald Trump got his solutions wrong. What were his solutions?
Tax bill.
We're gonna...
The tax bill.
Oh yeah, the tax bill, we all know that was the wrong use of resources. His solution, did he run on the tax bill? He ran on, we're gonna build a wall, we're gonna turn the clock back, we're gonna bring the old jobs back. We have to do the opposite of these things. We have to turn the clock forward. We have to accelerate our economy and society as quickly as we can. We have to evolve in the way we think about our work and value. And I'm the ideal candidate for that job in New Hampshire because the opposite of Donald Trump is an Asian man who likes math.
That's right.
Thank you all so much. Make America think harder, that's right. We're going to solve the real problems. It's not left, it's not right, it's forward, and that's where we're going to go in 2020. Thank you, New Hampshire. Love you.
Let's go, Yang Gang!
Look at that, smart water.
I still haven't brought that up first. So, Mr. Yang has agreed to interactive discussion here, so questions? If you do have questions, would you stand up and just say who you are, please? He's done this a lot, so we'll let him do that.
Oh, you can call on me, I love it. That would take a little bit of my, just point to someone who you know actually personally, you can say, hey.
All right, well, I don't know you personally, but maybe we will meet.
I'd like to redirect the conversation a little bit. I want to share a little personal note with you. I'm a cancer survivor, and when I was in treatment, the cost of the chemotherapy and related medications to that were astronomical. And the arguments with the insurance companies to try to get the benefits. For those who come behind me, I would like to see something done about that. What would the first thing be that you would do to address the issue of prescription drug costs?
Thank you for sharing your story, and I'm sure there are many people here, our family members, who are also cancer survivors. You notice how prescription drug prices only go in one direction? Imagine if your business had that business model too. It's like, hey, what are we going to do to make more money next year? I'll just increase your prices by 50%. You have no choice but to pay. So I have a 4-point plan to get prescription drug prices down. Number one is you have to have the government negotiate for better rates on behalf of the American people. Right now, you're not going to believe this, the drug lobby has actually prevented the government from negotiating on our behalf. Said, nope, can't do it. The second thing is you need international standards for what these prices are, and then ask American companies, you have to come in within a particular percentage of the international average. It is customary right now for American drug companies to charge Americans 2, 3, 4 times more for the same drug that they're charging other countries, citizens of other countries. And these are drugs that often the American public subsidize the research and development of. Think about how messed up that is. The third is where the stick comes in, is that the US government should be able to license a drug if they're unable to keep their prices within international bounds. And then we have our own facility to manufacture those drugs under a forced license if, again, the drug company is not able to keep the prices within reason. Now that's a very, very big stick, but as someone who's looked at this industry, it's necessary because the drug companies have this constant pressure to maximize their profits, and that will override their concern, certainly for affordability for our health and well-being. Beyond prescription drugs, we have to recognize what's going on in our system. And I think people who are small business owners, you've had the same experience I've had. It's awful, where right now our insurance system makes it harder to hire, makes it harder to treat someone like a full-time employee. All of your incentives are to make them a contractor and say like, hey, like let's say you're not actually a full-time employee. I treat everyone as a full-time employee, but the financial pressures went the other direction. It makes it harder to change jobs. There are a lot of people who are just stuck in jobs. There's even an economic term for that, it's called job lock. And it's harder to start a business. You know, when I was talking to my wife about running for president, one of her first questions was, what are we going to do about healthcare? And so that's the kind of conversation that happens around kitchen tables every day. So we have to get healthcare off of the backs of businesses and families. It's number one cause of bankruptcy, but it's also this massive anchor on our dynamism. And I'll say, as someone who ran a business, if someone came to me and said, we're going to take health insurance off of your plate, I would have been thrilled. I would have been jumping for joy. Not just because of the money. I would have given all the money we're paying in health insurance, give to someone else to handle, and been thrilled. Because every year you have to have these terrible conversations with your staff, being like, hey, prices went up. Hey, we're going to cover this much, and you're going to have to cover that much. Is that okay? It's like, hey, we have to switch plans or coverage. And then people have very, very personal issues in their health and their family, and you wind up with very difficult conversations with your employees. And then I was there thinking, like, why am I having these conversations with my employees about their health coverage and becoming an expert in various offerings and plans? This has nothing to do with my business. I'm running a business that's not an insurance brokerage, and yet here I am, you know, wrestling with like coverage differences. How many of you had a similar experience as a business owner and operator? There are people here in this room that have had that. And that's not what you should be focused on. That's not what we should be focused on as a country. I have a friend who's a private investor, and she said she has never seen the level of profiteering, price gouging, and profit taking that she sees right now in the prescription drug companies, the device companies, and the private insurers. She She says it's just out of control. And she says it's so out of whack that she's now betting against those companies, because she says this cannot continue. This is like an unsustainable track. And this is why Americans are so frustrated and business owners are so frustrated. We're spending 18% of GDP on a system that produces worse results than other countries. And imagine again, if you were a company, an operator, and you had a supplier that you were paying twice the market rate for the worst results, would you keep that supplier? Of course not. You'd be looking around being like, we need to freaking fix this, but we all feel like we're held hostage by the current system. So this is a market where you need government involvement. The healthcare market, and I'm someone who likes market solutions, but the healthcare market does not make sense as market solutions because we can't all become experts in every medical condition. You become price insensitive as soon as your relative gets unwell or you're unwell. Like now you're all of a sudden comparison shopping for, like cancer treatments. You just like want the best and you want to get well. Sometimes you're not even conscious when some of these decisions are being made. So this is an area where the government has to come in and effectively bring down costs and bring access up. But there's so much waste in the system that we can save a lot of money doing this. The incentives around our healthcare system right now are not around our health and wellness. It's around maximizing revenue and activity. And you can see this with the Cleveland Clinic, where they have incentives that are not tied to how many procedures they prescribe. And then they prescribe fewer procedures, and their health outcomes improve. Because we're in a state right now, and this is not your situation, but we're in a state right now where we have a lot of overtreatment. So that's where I am. We have to get prescription drug prices down. We also have to try and rationalize the incentives in our healthcare system, and then get the weight off of the backs of small businesses and families.
Sir? Yes. Yep, that's you.
Oh, I guess a follow-up question. I'm Nick, by the way. A follow-up question to that. We are, I think, one of the few countries in the world that has prescription drug advertising. We also have some of the highest rates of people taking drugs. I mean, companies have an incentive to sell as many drugs as possible. What would you think about that and do about that?
That is one of the signs of our system run amok. The biggest sign was when Purdue Pharma dispensed millions of OxyContin prescriptions as the non-addictive wonder drug that ended up causing a plague around the country. And I know in New Hampshire, there are a lot of people struggling with addiction. They made $30 billion on that, and then were fined $600 million. So they got a 2% fine. $600 million in isolation. You're like, oh, that sounds like a lot of money. It's like, wait, they made $30 billion? It's like, you had a 2% fine for killing thousands of Americans. And it was all for the almighty dollar. I mean, the drug companies, that is their set of incentives. So this is one reason why you do need a government role in healthcare to say, look, instead of you advertising directly to consumers, they show up and say, hey, I need this drug, this other commercial. You need to have healthcare providers making that call on behalf of the patient for their well-being most of the time. Like there's a role for individual information and like seeking out a treatment, and I love individual autonomy. But it's not individual autonomy if a drug company is spending tens of millions of dollars marketing to the public and then harvesting prescriptions as a result. So we should be looking at making that at a minimum more difficult and expensive, and at a maximum looking at the practice altogether.
This gentleman over here. I can't read the text, can't see that far. So.
It's okay. Hi, thank you for being here today. Two things. Thank you for bringing such a diverse crowd. I've been to a couple like candidate events and like this is like amazing.
No doubt.
As a Black woman in Hampshire, this is like wow. So second thing, thank you again for being such a climate champion. And thank you for stating that you want to ban fracking on federal lands if you were to be elected president. Only a few miles away from here, in the backyard of your high school, Phillips Exeter, there is a proposed frack gas pipeline running from Exeter to Manchester called Granite Bridge. It's going to cost $440 million to invest. Bad, you need to move away from frack gas infrastructure and push New Hampshire into renewable energy. So when you are elected president, do you promise and commit to banning old and new fossil fuel infrastructure?
I agree with the vision that we need to try and progress from fossil fuels.
good small business owner and operator, you invest in your people all the time. You say to them, it's like, hey, if I make you stronger, smarter, more productive, that's going to help me, the business. The same is true of our society, where right now you can sense that our collective fabric is being, it's tattering before our eyes. And so there are a number of measures that we can take that are going to help bring us together. One proposal I have is the American Exchange Program, where every high school senior travels to other parts of the country in groups of 20 to 30 diverse other high school seniors, live with probably parents of other high school seniors from another part of the country. And then they come back with 20 new Facebook friends, and then when someone says, oh, those people are terrible, I'd be like, I'm actually buddies with a couple of people like that, and they're pretty much exactly like us. But the biggest thing we could do is if you were to go to every high school senior and say, when you turn 18, you're going to get $1,000 a month from your country, because your country loves you, your country values you, you're an American, and here are some of the responsibilities of citizenship, but we're going to invest in you. We're also going to teach you financial literacy. And from experience, it is impossible to teach someone financial literacy if they have no money. And this was true of me. I have an economics degree from a good school. I still didn't understand it until I got some money. It's like you had to get into your 20s and start earning something before you're like, oh, interesting. So the way to reconstitute the fabric of our society and make it so that people come together is for people to feel like we're investing in them. And there's no better way to invest in them than by actually investing in them. We talk a big game right now, we say you can vote. Young people can see through it, they see what's going on around them. We have to actually lead them in a real and human way that they'll know, they'll believe, and then we can come together to solve the bigger problems like climate change.
I have two more questions, I think, so.
Doing the best I can on the volume, y'all.
Hi, thank you. My name is Daphne. I have a two-part question on the same issue. So my first question is, so a lot of economists are perpetrating that the economic crisis is going to start happening late 2019, early 2020. And some of them are predicting that it might even be worse than the 2008 recession. Should that happen while you're campaigning, how would that help or hurt your campaign? That's the first one. And the second one, when you become president, how would that affect your doling out $1,000 a month for every American citizen?
Thank you for the question, Daphne. You all remember voting for the $4 trillion bailout of Wall Street in 2008, 2009?
Nope.
Remember that referendum?
No.
Yeah, me neither. So there was a crucial juncture, and you can't Monday morning quarterback because that too much, because they were facing financial meltdown and societal collapse potentially. But the fundamental choice was: are we going to recapitalize the banks, or are we going to forgive some of this mortgage loan debt and keep more Americans in their homes? And we know which one they chose. To me, there should have been more of a balance at a minimum. And if you put money into people's hands, that's in some ways the optimal way to strengthen the economy. I think that if we do have a downturn over this next period, it would likely be good for my campaign because I'm so focused on this set of issues. And I think it would actually increase the appeal and appetite for some of the measures I'm describing because we saw what happened in the financial crisis where we prioritized the banks. We saw what happened with this latest Trump tax cut where we prioritized the big corporates where they got the vast majority of the $1.5 trillion tax cut. We see what's happening with student loan debt where we're up to $1.6 trillion that's weighed on top of our people. When I'm president, we will look around and say, let's actually strengthen our communities and our economy most directly. And that's going to be a way for us to get through whatever economic headwinds are coming our way.
Well, it's obvious that the media loves to talk about how we have a big gun problem in the country, and I think anyone looking around can see that we have a problem with gun violence. However, I would argue against the fact that we have specifically a gun-specific problem. I think it goes deeper than that. And I'm a numbers guy, you're a numbers guy. I base all of my opinions based off the facts and the numbers. And when I dive deep into it, despite what the media says, we are the leader in no statistic of gun violence or shootings or mass shootings. In fact, the leader of mass shootings in the world see about that, and I see that you have slightly different solutions to gun problems that I'd love to hear. And yeah, so that's it.
Oh, thank you. Well, first, let me say I disagree with your premises, where the numbers I've seen suggest that we are an outlier internationally in terms of episodes of gun violence, number of people being killed, etc. So I don't agree with the fact that somehow we're in like the normal range internationally. I think we are an aberration in a very negative way. I do agree with you that when you talk about gun violence, there's a whole series of steps that occur that happen before purchasing the firearm and using the firearm, or getting your hands on the firearm and using the firearm. Now, it's easiest to focus on the last two steps because they're the most concrete and visceral, where it's like, oh, we can somehow pass that. And this is echoing, I think, what you're suggesting. If we were to pass laws that everyone's suggesting, which I'm for, background checks, red flag laws, high capacity magazines, military-style assault weapons, we would wake up the next day and there would still be gun violence. In large part because we're a country that has almost 400 million firearms currently out in private hands, more than one for every man, woman, and child. About 15 million military-style assault weapons that are out there. And so even if we pass this set of laws, people would still be getting shot. So if you look at the first number of events in that chain, to me we have to start from day one, from day zero. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about stress levels in the household. I'm talking about family composition. I'm talking about schools that aren't built to handle people with neurological atypicalities, particularly for young boys. And we know that 96% plus of the people who end up being perpetrators of gun violence are boys or men. And so the question is, how do you build a system that actually turns strong boys into strong men, or boys who are not that strong into strong boys? And that is not what our system is very good at right now. Our system is a little bit more of a behavioral modification system than it is like a strengthening and nurturing system. We have a mental health crisis in this country, and we're very much under-resourced for that. And so you have this whole chain of events before someone decides to get their hands on a gun. Now, I will say, if someone is disturbed, violent, and prone towards violence, that violence is much less destructive if they don't get their hands on a weapon that can kill many people in a short period of time. So there is attention that needs to be paid to that level, and I'm for a voluntary buyback of guns that would essentially be evergreen, and I'm for upgrading firearms to smart guns that only the owner can fire, because that way if a kid gets their hands on a gun, then it's like, hey, it's a very expensive, like heavy prop. So these are things that we can do that would help make the supply of guns more manageable. But I agree with you that there are many, many deep-seated problems, and that even if we pass some of these laws, we wake up the next day. I mean, it was Steve, I believe, who told me that if you buy a handgun, the most likely victim is yourself. You know, and so, think about that chain of events as well. So these are the things that we need to try and dig into. It's going to be a generational struggle, though. There is no easy answer.
He's got to be out of here in the next 25 minutes, but he said that he would be around for some pictures, to sign some books.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on with volume.
I'm happy to sign them.
Try to get the
I also want to
battery.
say, just tactically, I am one of only 2 candidates in the field that 10% or more of Donald Trump voters say they will support. So if I am the Democratic nominee, we win. That is the math.
Absolutely.
As more people wake up to that, then you're going to see my campaign grow and grow. I was 4th in a recent poll, and I want to suggest to you all also that going from anonymous to 4th is a lot harder than going from 4th to 1st.
Yeah.
First have a long time. So thank you all.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you to the Sheraton. And thank you to our sponsors, Eversource and Seacoast Media Current.
All right. Another smashing success, Yang Gang. Play the hits. Where's my? Oh yeah, all right, buddy. Mommy Yang Gang. Hit the music. Music. So Yang Gang, smashing success out here at this fundraiser. We love you. We hope you enjoyed the live stream. We got 2 more events. If y'all can, please support it. Hit the music. Music. Andrew Yang's music.
Oh, he's yeah, he's.
We can't hit the music, y'all.
Sorry, no music.
No music. But we are coming back at 4:30.
4 o'clock,
All right,
maybe?
get in here, Mama Yang
I
Gang.
can't. What's up with my hair? Oh my god. Okay. 4. Yeah.
4 o'clock.
I didn't get enough sleep.
We might. We've been going, y'all. We've been going. So if y'all can support this, we appreciate it. And you know we're gonna always bring you the best Andrew Yang coverage. Boots on the ground, y'all. Boots on the ground.
See you later.
Yang Gang. Thank God. Yes, the broke folk vote for real. We're gonna try to get some interviews. A lot of the stuff that we catch after the fact, y'all, is what goes into our videos and stuff like that. But we definitely enjoy bringing y'all these live streams, and we want to be able to keep bringing you these live streams. Definitely spread the word. We're gonna be back about 4 o'clock on the live stream. We love you. Look at it. Look at this beautiful face coming in right here. We freaking love you guys. That is awesome. We just got photobombed. We just got photobombed. That's awesome. Yeah. Zach loves us, y'all. We love Zach. So, we'll see you at 4 o'clock. Please keep the live stream going for a while. All right, Gavin. I was gonna say bye, but here we'll turn this around. Okay, see the crowd reaction. Jeez, y'all are so demanding. Well, you know, Gavin wants us to stick around for a couple minutes. Look, Craig, I ain't gonna get to eat, bro. We'll eat later. We'll eat when Andrew Yang is elected. We'll eat, sleep, and do all that stuff when Andrew Yang is elected. So we got the news people still back here on their phones, acting like they ain't got a care in the world. They're the best news people ever. They've been on their phones since the time they got here. They ain't looked through the cameras one time. You look like a hobo, but think like an Asian. What? I don't even know what that means. I look like a hobo? I do kind of look like a hobo sometimes. Y'all must have seen me in my dress clothes. Yep. Look, there's little Yang Gang. He's over there being patient. Y'all, these y'all don't realize like how tough these events are on little Yang Gang. And for him to hold it together like he does, that's my boy, man. Love that kid. Thank you, Kyle. He's the best, man. Little Yang Gang is definitely the best. Well, you know what? MT Mount SLR. That's why we are here, because we want to bring y'all front row seats. If y'all can't be here, we're going to put in the work for you. He is definitely a trooper, Craig. Thank you. Yes, he is. Little Yang Gang is the best.
Right, Zeph and I could probably...
Our crazy little man has his moments, too. Y'all can believe that.
But I bet he could recite Yang's stump speech.
Yeah, little Yang Gang could definitely recite Andrew Yang's stump speech. I like seeing this crowd here was pretty big. And you got to think, $25 a plate, man. Made a little money. If y'all can donate to the campaign, please donate to the campaign. If y'all got enough for a cup of coffee left over, please donate to this channel, because this is how we get to these events. Yang Gang is definitely for children, for sure. We are child friendly around here. Try to be.
For the future.
That's the face of the future, y'all. He does get exhausted traveling with us, for sure. Yeah, I need something from Cole, y'all. Y'all got to remember, we're over here in New Hampshire. None of us have winter clothes because we're from the South. So if y'all can donate, we got to buy some winter clothes soon. For sure. And, oh my gosh, man, the heat's not working in my car, y'all. The Ghostmobile is we're going to have to take it to the shop. We was blowing cold air trying to defrost the windows coming up here. And you talk about 6:30 in the morning in New Hampshire, blowing cold air. Oh, Lord. That was crucial. Yeah, so y'all make sure that when y'all see these live streams and stuff that y'all tweet them out there, put them on Facebook. You know, if you can't afford to donate, you can afford to share it around, and we appreciate that. So what are we cooking at the inauguration? I don't know, hopefully steak. Some Mexican food. He does, y'all. He definitely does. Our son is the best. Little Yang Gang was awesome. All right, so we are gonna wrap it up, Yang Gang. And y'all saw that photobomb was that? Photobomb, that was awesome. So we love you, Yang Gang. We will see you at
At 4-ish. 4-ish.
I gotta get way down here in one moment, Yang Gang.
Thanks.
We love you, Yang Gang. See you at 4.